Welcome to my Yogi TV. My name is Alex, and here are 6 yoga poses and their transitions for developing a strong core in your practice. For our first pose, we have an alternating tabletop, and for the transition, we'll move it into a crunch. Come to tabletop on all fours, shoulders over wrist, hip points over knees. Extend your right hand out in front of you and then step your left leg back. On your inhale, reach up from the arm and the leg. Find a stable foundation as you root through the mat with the grounded hand. Press into the mat, lift with the stomach, reach out from opposite ends. Take a deep breath in, and then on your exhale, initiate a twist as you bring the right elbow into the left knee. Now, as we crunch, we want you to find a compression as we draw that left thigh into the chest. Good. Hold for a count of 5, and then release. For this transition, you'll work both sides. I like to do 10 crunches on each side. For our next pose, we'll take you into everyone's favorite, the high plank. And for the transition, we'll find a slow descent through chaturanga down to the mat. So, plant your palms at about shoulder width distance, a little bit wider if you need to. Tuck with the back toes, lift with the knees. Find a straight line of energy that aligns from the head to the hips to the heels. Press into your mat to activate the beauty of the pose. Find a shift forward of the heels. From here, we find our transition as we slowly lower through chaturanga down to the mat. So, slight shift forward, deep breath in. Exhale, slowly lower all the way down. From here, you can turn into a vinyasa by taking it into a low cobra and then tucking your toes back up to downward facing dog and then moving through the high plank, slow lower chaturanga, low cobra, and then back to downward facing dog. For our next pose, we'll find a dolphin pose, and for the transition, we'll move into dolphin push-ups. Lower your forearms down to your mat at about shoulders width distance. Tuck with the toes, and just like how we would do in our downward facing dog, lift up with the hips. Now, this is going to be definitely taxing on hamstrings, so you can feel free to just lift with the heels, or if it allows, you can ground the heels down. From here, you can elevate this posture by adding the transition of dolphin push-ups. For our dolphin push-ups, find a shift forward of the shoulders to lower the nose to the floor, and then back up. Nose down, and up. Down, and up. I like to take about 10 of these for 3 rounds. For our next pose, we have a 3-legged dog, with the transition being a shift forward into a high plank, bringing that leg that's up to tap the back of the arm. So let's begin in a downward facing dog. From your down dog, we'll take it into a 3-legged dog. I'll start with my left side. Left leg reaches up. Good. Find a nice and stable foundation here in your 3-legged dog. And then we'll take a deep breath in, and on our exhale, bring the left knee in as we shift forward, shoulders over wrist, knee tap to the back of the left arm, and then we send it back up. So we have a tap, and send back. A tap, and a send back. Good. For these, I like to work about 5 to 10 on each side. Take your time. For our next pose, we have a locust pose. And for the transition, we're just going to move through 3 rounds of poles. The first round at a count of 5, the second for a count of 7, and the third for a count of 10. Come down to lay on your belly. Arms reach behind you, palms press flat. You can root down to the forehead before your lift, But essentially what we're going to do on our inhale, we'll find a lift of the chest, the legs, and the hands. Inhale and rise. Spread open across the chest, draw back through the shoulders, find a gentle squeeze of the hips, activate the length of the legs. For our first round, a count of 5. Second round, count of 7. Last round, count of 10. For our last pose, we have boat pose, also known as Navasana. And for the transition, we'll take it into some boat pose taps. So, come to find a seat. We'll actually take a half boat pose. Bring your hands behind your thighs. Find a shift back onto the sits bones, and then heels are in line with the knees. From here, either you can hold onto the thighs for a little bit of extra comfort or grounding, or you can release the hold from the thighs, arms reach out alongside the legs. Now we take it into our transition. As we maintain our boat pose and we're breathing, we'll find taps of the feet, alternating tap of the feet. I like to do these for a count of 10. So I'll find 5 taps on each side. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really hope you add these into your daily core regimen, and I look forward to practicing with you next time.